Hey, welcome. My name's Robert Kennedy. I'm going to be your history instructor for either History 1301 or History 1302. So the content that I'm going to be sharing, please take note if you're enrolled in my History 1301 course. I'm going to be highlighting this 1302 course, but the expectations and the structure of the course are the same for both 1301 and 1302. So don't get confused if I'm referring to specific content from 1302 throughout this presentation if you're a 1301 student. Okay, with that said, away we go. So first order of business, real important. How do you contact me throughout the semester? Well, I'm really glad you asked, because that is going to be done through Pronto. I will on occasion use the announcement tool, but primarily announcements and direct messages will be done through Pronto. So I highly encourage you to download Pronto onto your telephone or your smartphone or whatever it is. That way you get announcements in real time and direct messages, and the same for me, right? So critical that you become familiar with this and use it on a regular basis. This is where I will, again, put announcements, but extra credit opportunities, which will be done through what are referred to as EDCMs, to be explained later. And hey, maybe there are times where I'm not able to come to class, right? Very rarely, God willing. But if that's the case, in Pronto is where I will announce it. And how annoying is it to get all the way to campus, especially if it's your only class for the day and it's been canceled, right? That's where you'll learn about it. And I'll typically give you, well, I will give you as much notice as possible. So Pronto right there. Let's start with the Start Here folder. First day of class. And again, this is History 1302, but the structure is the same. It's just the specifics are different. So focus on the structure. So I'm going to scroll down all of this. I encourage you to read this. This will give you a great sense of what this course is about. Well, in fact, let's read through some of this. This course is designed as a deep, rigorous, and often challenging investigation. Not so much as far as work, although there is work to do, but emotionally, spiritually, this is going to be rigorous and challenging. Into the foundational and persistent historical realities that have shaped the American experience. We will not shy away from confronting the profound horror of systematic injustice inherent in institutions that define our past and present, including colonialism, and for 1302 students, the legacy of colonialism, the brutal transatlantic system of chattel slavery, and the often exploitive mechanisms of corporate capitalism. These forces are persistent, powerful, and are often hidden, have an often hidden root in a long-standing force of what's referred to as the patriarchy, which will serve as our central unifying interpretive theme throughout this semester. All right, that's important to understand. And let me explain what patriarchy is, or what it's not. It's not anti-man, and it's not pro-woman. It's really pro-humanity, because the patriarchy has a tendency to reduce both men and women into a childlike state, right? And you see this when adults become emotionally deregulated, when they have expectations that they should get what they want when they want. And this often can translate into violence and corruption of institutions that we rely on, institutions within our economy, our political systems, our social systems. And You don't need a history class or any college course probably to recognize that a lot of our institutions are profoundly dysfunctional. So an examination of the patriarchy is, in a sense, pro-humanity, and well, not in a sense, it very much is pro-humanity, in service of creating a society that is built upon dignity and love, right? And that is what our classroom will be, right? It is going to be an environment that might not often feel settling. It will be challenging. Not just you have to show up and do perhaps some intellectual activities, which require effort and energy, but emotionally and spiritually, it's going to be challenging. And I hope and I invite you to take on that challenge. So with that said, let's get into some of the meat of the course. So this course is designed by what's referred to as bundles. Bundles are basically a cumulative tiered system, and there's 5 of them: Bundle 1, Bundle 2, Bundle 3, Bundle 4, and Bundle 5. So let me share first History 1302. Bundle 1, Reconstruction of the West, Hope Gained and Lost. Bundle 2, The Wealth Destroys a Nation. This is referring to the Industrial Revolution and the Gilded Age. Bundle 3, Empire and Change, America Plays a Dangerous Game, and Invisible Powers begins. Invisible Powers is referring to the collective power of the people as opposed to obvious power, the power of violence, the power of politics, the power of money, right? Collective power is invisible because it's when people show up, either in protest or assembly, and mutual aid for each other, and support each other in material, emotional, and spiritual ways. Bundle 4, the Great Depression, World War II, the world descends into madness. Indeed it did. And Bundle 5, Civil Rights in the Cold War, and that will lead us to the Vietnam War. I stop at the Vietnam War in my History 1302 class, because after Vietnam, you will have the ability to put the pieces together to figure out how the present day is affected by everything that's happened in this course, from Reconstruction, which is roughly around the mid-1860s, all the way up until the Vietnam War, which is the early 1970s, when that war ended. In 1301, just to go through this really briefly, right? Bundle 1, this is basically dealing with pre-Columbia and the colonization of British America. Bundle 2, the colonial era, independence movement, and early republic. Bundle 3, we'll talk about this in class. This is a special bundle, but you can read it for yourself there. Is dealing with presidential elections. Bundle 4, the early republic and the rise of Jackson, referring to Andrew Jackson, the 6th president of the United States. Bundle 5, slavery, sexualism, and the path to civil war. Things fall apart again. And the final paper. So that's all I'm going to kind of refer to for 1301. You guys have access to the course once you complete the orientation assignments, and we will definitely talk about it in class. We're going to workshop it in class the first week. Okay, let's get back into the structure of the course. Going back to this document, and for, again, 1301 students, you have this corresponding document that you can open up so you don't get confused with the specifics of it, but the structure is the same. So this course is about empowering students, as well as me. I get empowered when you're empowered, right? And we stand shoulder to shoulder throughout the semester. So walk with me throughout the semester, right here by my shoulder. If you falter, I'm right there to put my arm around you and say, let's keep going, right? May is right over there. It's coming soon. But you got to walk with me. If you sit down and you say I can't go any further, well, there's avenues, there's exit avenues, which means not being enrolled in the course, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So bundle one is what I would like you to do now is pause this video and put the due dates that you see in here into your calendar app. Every assignment for bundle one is due on February 5th. And what I mean by the due date, it's, let me open this up, because notice here, and this will say the same for 1301 students, bundle one for a C is due February 5th. Now let's scroll down just a little bit, and what you're going to notice is target grade. Let me collapse this so it's connected. Target grade for a C. These are the assignments that are required. That is what is due February 5th. Now, there's additional assignments for this bundle if you wish to do them. So you get to choose your grade that you want to earn for the semester. And I'll show you what the components for each letter grade for the semester consist of in just a second. But as long as you do those assignments for each letter grade, that's the grade that you're going to earn. So you get to choose it. This is what I mean by this course is designed to empower you. You know exactly what it is you need to do to earn a C, a B, or an A. And make sure you're tuning into this right now. Listen up. So if you're multitasking right now, put down whatever you're doing. You have to earn a C in this course if you wish to persist throughout the semester. You will be blocked from this course if you do not earn a C by the due dates for each bundle. The first one being February 5th for bundle one for a C, which means you need to earn a complete for all three of these assignments, which I'll show you in Blackboard in just a second. Now, there's an incentive to complete these assignments early. And that is done through the EDCM system. And EDCM stands for effort, dedication, and character money. Because you will be putting in effort. You need to be dedicated, and you already have character. I learn this every semester. My students have profound character. It's a beautiful sight to see. And in turn, why I say you guys empower me is when I witness your character, it further enhances my character. And I could take that outside of the classroom to my colleagues, to my wife, to my son, and demonstrate that character. And I can't begin to impart how powerful that is. Anyway, we can talk about more of that in class. But if you complete bundle one for a C by February 4th, a day before the bundle deadline, you will earn 100 EDCMs. And I'll tell you what you can do with that money in just a little bit. If you complete all of the assignments, which is everything for a C, which is all three of these assignments, plus this assignment right here, you will earn 150 EDCMs. And if you complete all of these assignments right here, you will earn 200 EDCMs. So for students that took me last semester, you're going to notice that this level of EDCMs for early submissions has increased. That corresponds for what you can pay for has also increased. But it's definitely doable to purchase things that are going to ensure your success in this course. So let's take a look at what this looks like in a bundle. And again, the structure is the same, the content is different for my 1301 students. But you start with the first sub-bundle folder, B1.1, open up the folder, and you complete all of these assignments. These assignments right here are referred to as interactive books. and it will culminate to a quiz. And in order to open up this quiz, you have to earn a complete for all of these interactive books. And the standard for these assignments is a 85%. Once you've earned a complete as opposed to a not complete, those are the only two grades available for all of the assignments throughout the semester. The only time you're ever going to see a letter grade is in your JAGNet account at the end of the semester, C, B, or A. But until then, it's either going to be complete or not complete. Once you earn a complete for the culminating quiz for the first sub-bundle folder for Bundle 1, then the next sub-bundle for Bundle 1 will open up. So in 1302, it is this assignment here, which for elections, for interactive videos for the elections, these are required. Not so much for 1301. We'll talk about that in class for my 1301 students. But for 1302, it is required. So you earn a complete for all of these interactive videos, and then you take the quiz. And then this will open up. Let me close this out so it's easier to see. So going back to Bundle 1, boom, 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 bundle. So notice how it says right here, Bundle 1 for a C, 1 of 3. Bundle 1 for a C, 2 of 3. Bundle 1 for a C, 3 of 3. That means you have these 3 assignments to do. You need to earn a complete for all of the assignments in these sub-bundle folders in order to earn a C for Bundle 1. Once you earn a complete for the third sub-bundle folder, and in this case for 1302 students, it's videos on the West, then this folder will open up. This is just 1 of 1, right? And it gives you a little, tells you how much time is required, right? So keep that in mind, which I'll refer to in just a second of why that's important. Once you have earned a complete for this sub-bundle folder, then this folder will open up. I'll talk about this assignment. This is kind of outside of the Bundle 1 grade, although it's housed in the bundle grade. Every bundle is going to have a creative writing paper. There's going to be 5 of them, so one that's going to be housed in the bundle folder. And for C students, you don't have to do any of these. For B students, you have to do 2 of these throughout the semester. And for A students, you have to do 3. All right? And I'll talk more about that in just a second. So that's how these are organized. Once you've earned a complete for a C, so B1.1, B1.2, B1.3, what's going to happen is Bundle 2 will open up. And you could advance straight to Bundle 2 as soon as you're done with Bundle 1 for a C. You can choose to continue to work on Bundle Bundle 1 for a B and Bundle 1 for an A, but you can skip it for now, and you can always come back to it throughout the semester. Ain't that cool, right? And ultimately, everything in this course will be due on May 1st, with a couple of exceptions that we'll talk about in class. But for the most part, most assignments are ultimately due outside of assignments that are required for a C for each bundle are going to be due on May 1st. I highly encourage you, though, despite what I just said, to stay on track. If your intention in this course is to earn a B or an A and to collect the EDCMs for early submission, to have them completed by the day before the bundle for a C is due. So in this case for Bundle 1, February 4th, right? Note that these dates are going to look different once we get out of Bundle 1 for my History 1301 students. So take note of that. Make sure you have this document open for my 1301 students while you're watching this so you don't get confused. So you can put it in your calendar app to empower yourself. Really, really important. You don't want to rely on me, because if you ask me in class, I might be flustered. I got so much going on in the haunted house inside of my head. I can give you a wrong date. You want to know what the dates are, and you have it right here in front of you, right? So, okay, so the one thing to keep in mind, to go back to the bundle, is it does give you a timestamp, a time duration for each of the sub bundles. And look at that. That's 2 hours for, in my 1301 students. It's a little bit more for my 1302 students. It's a little bit more for my 1301 students. But for 1302, the first bundle is only 2 hours to earn a C. And you're going to have about a little over 3 weeks to complete that. That's less than an hour a week. So if you aren't able or unwilling to earn a complete for these 3 sub bundles, then what that says to you, not to me, but to you, that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right? That's not personal. I did it as a student. I would enroll in a class and went, oh my gosh, I've taken on too much. And so what happens if you do not earn a C for any of the bundles by the due date? Well, let's take a look. Going back to this document, and this is available to you in 1301 as well. You're going to click here, and this is going to give you very specific instructions and guidance to what happens. So basically what happens is, and how to get back into it. You're going to be blocked from the Blackboard course. And you can be readmitted. You have to pay me 50 EDCMs. And then you need to handwrite basically a letter to me with these 3 parts explaining what's preventing you, what prevented you from earning a C. You have to let me know about your schedule inside and outside of class, and then you need to articulate a commitment for your success throughout the semester going forward, without let me just read this. Clearly explain what specific actionable changes you will implement differently moving forward to ensure you succeed in this course, which means a focus on concrete steps rather than general promises. So you're not writing, I promise to do better. You want to specifically explain what you're going to do to ensure your success, to empower yourself. You're going to get sick of that word, but it is a beautiful embodiment for this course and for any enterprise that you put effort into. It's all about empowering yourself in dignity and love. So keep that in mind, and we could talk more about that in class. Now, to go back to the creative paper, I'll open this up. Take note of the due dates. These are our creative writing. You can do a short story, a formal letter or informal letter, a journal entry, a poem, right? And so here's the rubric. You got to attach this. All the instructions are there. I don't want to go into too much detail. And again, this is only required for students intending to earn a B or an A. Understand that these due dates are fixed as well. You have to complete it by then. If you don't complete this for bundle 1, well, then just do the one for bundle 2, for bundle 3, right? Understanding that for a B, you got to do at least 2 of them. And for an A, you got to do at least 3 of them throughout the semester. So let's go scroll down to see the components for each targeted final grade. So if your intention is to earn a C in this course, which is perfectly fine, all right, this is all you have to do. Complete all bundles for a C grade, right? So bundles 1 through 5, right? And at the end of the semester, your attendance is marked okay attendance, which is basically translated to no more than 4 classes missed throughout the semester. For a C, you're going to do 2 creative writing assignments. You're going to complete bundles 1 through 5 for a B. And at the end of the semester, your mark is going to be good attendance, which is the equivalent of not missing more than 3 classes. For an A, you see there's a little bit more to do. Complete bundles 1 through 5 for an A. 3 creative writing assignments throughout the semester. You're going to do a class presentation. I'm not going to open this up, but take a look at it. If your intention is to earn an A, this is something you want to get started right now. Come talk to me in my office. And the final paper, something also you want to get started, which is going to be based on, well, I'll talk, it's specific to each course, so I'll talk to you in my office if you're intending to earn an A in this course. And you need to get outstanding attendance, which is not missing more than 2 classes. And that's what it takes to earn each of these letter grades. So the key to earning any of these intended targeted grades is to start now. Again, you know exactly how much time you need to spend. It's marked in each bundle on the sub-bundles folders. So start now. And think of it this way. I've done the math, and just generally speaking, some bundles are a little bit more robust than others. But generally speaking, that's about 3 to 6 minutes a day. You've got 3 to 6 minutes a day. And what you're going to find is that for most of the assignments, outside of the quizzes, it will start off where you left off. So let's say you only have 5 minutes. You're waiting for class to begin. You got 5 minutes. Get your phone out while you're waiting for your next class and begin.
Lincoln, in his second inaugural address,
And
the
this
war
guy's
was just
going
about
off on
over. It was pretty obvious
Reconstruction,
the Union was
and
going
as
to
it
win.
scrolls, and you notice
And
you can't
after
go,
Abraham
you can't
Lincoln
navigate forward.
says, "Hey, after
when
we
it
have
gets to these
drawn
large
for every
hollow circles,
drop of blood
you're
drawn
going to
by
get
the
some multiple
lash,
choice
drawn another
questions,
by the
and
sword." After he
you've got to
says all that
respond to
stuff,
those questions.
he says, "Look, here's the way it's going to be when the war's over,"
But
because he wants
it
to
will
entice the South
leave
to
off where you
surrender.
left off. So
And he
again,
says,
yeah,
with
you
malice
only
toward
have, let's say, a
none,
minute.
with charity for all,
Just do a
with
minute's worth of
firmness
work.
in the right
Stop.
as
It will
God gives
leave
us
off where
to
you
see
left
the
off.
right.
If it doesn't, let me know something went wrong.
Let us strive to finish the work we are in, to
and
bind
then,
up the nation's wounds, to do
start again,
all
and
which may achieve and
this is
cherish
how
a
you
just and
build
lasting
up
peace among
momentum
ourselves and with
dedicated
all
to your
nations.
success.
Now, what Abraham Lincoln
Right?
is saying is,
So that's
hey,
how
I
most
fought
of
this
these
war
assignments
pretty
are going
hard,
to look throughout
but
the
once it's
semester.
over.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to show you to conclude this presentation, going back to the first day of class, is the EDCM exchange. So starting here, let me go to slideshow. Every day you come to class and you're on time, you've got to be on time, you're going to receive 1 to 20 EDCMs. If you stay the entire class, another 1 to 20 EDCMs. Again, submitting bundles at least 1 day early. 100 for a C, 150 for a B, 200 for an A. Now this here, for my students that took me last semester, this is a new one. You're going to hear me a lot throughout the semester. I highly encourage you to get a jump on this. So by April 9th, basically if you complete the entire course, bundles 1 through 5, by April 9th, the corresponding letter grades, 500 EDCMs for an A for bundles 1 through 5. For a B, 350. For a C, 250. In addition to, you can also earn this as well. See how things can add up here? Pretty cool, huh? I highly encourage you all to take advantage of that opportunity. It will empower our class in so many ways because you will be way ahead of the schedule. Because in order to achieve that, you got to start now. And so it's conceivable within a week and a half, 2 weeks to have bundle 1 done. Bundle 2 within 3 weeks. Bundle 3, so on and so forth. And so in class, you'll be familiar. You might still not get it as you're doing this. It's all the stuff is being thrown at you. You're trying to figure it out. No problem. But in class, this is where we clarify it. This is where you get to raise your hand going, I don't get this. Can you give me some more clarification? And when I'm going over things, You're going to be like, oh, now I get it. You're going to have those aha moments, and that is empowering, right? It's beautiful. So please take advantage of that, right? Our discussions can be incredibly unique and novel and empowering, right? So in classwork, 1 to 50 EDCM. So I'll walk around with a wad of money. So we'll have lots of class discussions, and we can do this during lectures. And you will receive money based on, hey, your question or your response, that kind of a thing. I'm not going to open up these links, but I encourage you to. These are just kind of extra credit opportunities where you can receive 100 or 50 EDCM. So take a look at those assignments. Come talk to me in my office if you're curious about that, and I encourage you to be curious. I go for walks quite a bit, and this semester for students that took me last semester, and there's quite a few of you. I keep referring to you guys. I'm so happy to see you again. I can't wait to see you again. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot more time this semester. I freed up a lot of my schedule. Well, I freed up my schedule on Tuesday, Thursdays. I'll have a complete hour where not every Tuesday and Thursday I can go for a walk, but when I can, I will. And on Monday and Wednesdays after my morning class, walks will be available. You can earn up to 50 EDCMs per mile. And basically we start, or 30 EDCMs. I was reading that. 30 EDCMs. We start here, which is in the P building, 3rd floor, and we go across campus to the J building and we come back. That's just 1 mile, right? Where you'll get 30 EDCMs. If you come to my office, you get 100 EDCMs, and there's some specifics to that. So you might want to contact me before you make an appointment to come to my office. But you can earn up to 100 EDCMs based on our interaction during the meeting. So that's it for there. Oh yeah, this one last thing. Now, not everything is, I'm not going to make it rain all the time. Sometimes you're going to make it rain for me. So if you leave class for any reason, as up here, as it indicates here, you got to throw down 50 EDCMs on my desk. If you use a cell phone or any device, and you were not directed to do so, and I will direct you to do so, but understand, generally speaking, no devices, 100 EDCMs. And again, failure to complete a bundle for a C, you'll have to pay me 50, plus you'll need to do that handwritten exercise to be readmitted back into class. This isn't going to happen to anybody, right? So don't let this happen to you, because it's not going to happen to anybody. Again, every bundle is anywhere, for a C, is anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. That translates to an hour per week, 30 minutes per week, maybe 45 minutes per week. Break that down, that's 3 to 6 minutes a day. You can do this, and if you're unwilling or unable to, which can happen, then you don't want to be in this course. You don't want to sit in a classroom for 4 months only to receive a failing grade for the semester. And let me share this with you. Since I've incorporated this bundling system into my courses, about 80% of my students earn B's or A's in this course. 80%, that's unheard of, right? How beautiful is that? That's so awesome. And you can do this. So I think that's about it, right? A lot of this other stuff we can talk about in class if you're curious about the final paper. Oh, shoot, no, one last thing. Back to the slideshow. This is what you can do with that money. Now, for students that took me last semester, I used to have a limit of excused absences that you could pay for. Not anymore. It's unlimited. Now, it costs a little bit more, but still within reach. You miss a class, pay me $150. You get 2 free for an A, 3 for a B, 4 free for a C. But so after that, if you want to pay for it, $150. There is partial credit for arriving late, but there will be a ding to your attendance grade. And you can erase 4 of those lates for $100, and again, it's unlimited. You just pay me $100. If you want to retake any quiz throughout this semester, you pay me $50. You get 2 free. You get 2 free. Let me say that again. You get 2 free. So after 2, if you don't get it complete, if it marks not complete in your grade book for that quiz, then you pay me $50 and you can take it again. And then this one right here, this is a big one. It's limited to 2, but let me bounce out of this for a second. It's referring to sub-bundle folders. What that's referring to is, let me just jump into a random bundle here. This is a sub-bundle. This is a sub-bundle. This is a sub-bundle folder. If you don't want to do 2 of these throughout the semester, pay me 500 EDCMs and I'll mark in your grade book complete for each of the assignments within that sub-bundle folder, and you don't have to do it. You get full credit. You get a complete. How cool is that, right? Empowerment, power, 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 power. You've got power, man. This is so awesome. Truly awesome. So take advantage of that. Please do. And then if you would like to get out of one of those creating assignments, now look at this. You can get out of 2 of them. The first one is 800. The second one is 1,000, which means, again, for a C, don't even worry about this. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do any writing for a C in this course. You pay me 800. You don't have to do that one. You pay me 1,000 for the second one, and you don't have to do that one, right? And so essentially for a B, you have to do very little writing. There is some writing required within some of the quizzes within the sub-bundle folders, but outside of that, you have the opportunity not have to do these assignments. And then for students, this only is regarding students intending to earn an A. If you pay me 1,500 EDCMs, you can you'll earn a complete for the final paper. Yay, right? Okay, let's wrap this up. The last thing I want to draw to your attention at the bottom of the course for both courses, 1301 and 1302, take a look at this folder. There's a number of assignments here. These are all extra credit that will earn you EDCMs. You have to complete every single assignment in the sub-bundles folders if you want to earn 100 EDCMs. So you open this one up, and you got to complete all of these assignments here. And the same is true for all of these sub-bundle folders, right? You don't have to do any of these assignments. It's just for EDCMs, but if you do, you can earn money and you can take advantage of this entire slide. So potentially if you want to earn, this is why students can typically earn a B or an A in my class, right? If you start now and start building up your purse, it's mad money, man. You can be exempt from a lot of these assignments. So do that, right? So I can't wait to see you guys on either, well, for the first week, since we have MLK Day off either Tuesday or Thursday or on Wednesday. Some of you might be visiting me on MLK Day. I'll be here in my office. If the building is locked, let me know on pronto and I'll run down and let you in. We'll come up to the 3rd floor and we'll get to hang out for a little bit and we can go over some of this in more detail or can just clarify some of this stuff. So if you've watched this and you have questions, that would be a good opportunity to sit down with me and ask some of those questions. Whoa, so yeah, we're going on to about 40 minutes here, so go forth and be great. I love each and every one of you. You guys are worth it. You're worth the effort that is required, both the intellectual effort, the emotional effort, and indeed the spiritual effort. Our ancestors await our presence. It's going to be the best semester I have ever had. This spring 2026. I cannot wait for us to be a community together. Truly, it's anyway, let's save it for the semester. I'll see you guys in class. Have a good day, truly. Last thing, you need to complete the corresponding assignments within this interactive book where you're watching this video. There's a short answer exam to take after this. Once you do that, bundle 1 will open up and then you can start running through this course. Do that. Do that And man, we're going to have a good time. Talk with you later. See you in class.